Imagine it's 4:30 in the morning in 1855, and you're about to start your first day at a match factory in London's East End. You're sharing a bed with 3 other girls in a back-to-back slum that hasn't seen fresh air in weeks. Your clothes are the same ones you've worn for months. There's no running water, no toilet except a shared privy in the courtyard that 30 families use. You're 12 years old, and from today, you'll be working 14-hour shifts 6 days a week, dipping wooden sticks into white phosphorus. It doesn't pay much, but your family will starve without your wages. You can't complain about the conditions. There are no safety regulations, no protection, and worst of all, if you're late on your very first day, you might lose this job before you've even started. So the question is, could you survive working in a place like this? In this episode, we'll step into the shoes of Victorian factory workers, discovering what life was really like for the women and children who kept Britain's industrial empire running. The sound that wakes you isn't an alarm clock. The sound that wakes you isn't an alarm clock. Those don't exist yet. Instead, it's the rap, rap, rap of a long wooden pole against your bedroom window. This is the knocker-upper a man whose entire profession exists because factories now run 24 hours a day and someone needs to wake the workers for their shifts. It's pitch black outside. 4:30 in the morning. January. Freezing cold. You share this bed with 3 other girls, your 2 younger sisters and a cousin. The mattress is stuffed with straw that hasn't been changed in over a year. It smells of sweat and mildew and the ever-present smoke that seeps through every crack in the walls. The room you're in is the only bedroom for your entire family. Your parents and 2 younger brothers sleep in the main room downstairs. This building is what they call back-to-back housing. 3 families crammed into one structure. You share a wall with the family next door. It's so thin you can hear them coughing. The family on the other side has a baby that cries all night. There are no windows at the back of the house because it's built directly against another row of houses behind you. The front window hasn't been opened in months. Your mother keeps it shut because of the stench from the courtyard privy and the factory smoke that hangs over the street like a permanent fog. You pull on the same dress you wore yesterday, and the day before that, and every day for the past 3 months. It's brown wool. Or it used to be brown. Now it's so stained with smoke and sweat and street mud that you can't remember what the original color looked like. There's no way to properly wash it. No running water in the house. There's one communal pump for the entire street, and it only runs for a few hours each day. Even then, it's just cold water. Heating water costs coal, and coal costs money your family doesn't have. You've worn the same undergarments for 2 weeks. Everyone in your family smells. Everyone on your street smells. After a while, you stop noticing it. Downstairs, your mother has managed to get a small fire going in the grate. She's boiling water for tea, weak tea. The leaves have already been used 3 times. There's a chunk of bread on the table. Stale. Hard enough that you have to dunk it in the tea to soften it before you can chew it. This is breakfast. There's no butter, no jam, no porridge. Your father's wages from the docks and what your older brother makes as a chimney sweep barely cover rent and bread. That's why you're starting work today. The family needs your income. Your mother tells you that if you're good at the work and you're fast, the factory might pay you 4 or 5 shillings a week. She says this like it's a fortune. It's not. It might buy enough bread to keep everyone from starving. Might. You leave the house at 5:15. It's still dark. The streets are already filling with workers heading to their shifts. Women in shawls, men in caps, children younger than you. Everyone moving in the same direction, toward the factories. The air is thick with coal smoke. Every chimney and every factory is already pumping black clouds into the sky. You can taste it. Metallic. Bitter. It makes your eyes water. You pass a cotton mill that's been running all night. Through the windows you can see rows of machines and rows of workers. The noise is deafening even from outside. You pass a brickworks, a tannery. The smell from the tannery is so strong it makes you gag. Animal hides soaking in urine and chemicals. The walk to the match factory takes 20 minutes. Your hands are numb from the cold by the time you arrive. Your feet ache in shoes that are 2 sizes too small. Hand-me-downs from your older sister. The soles are so worn through you can feel every cobblestone. But none of that matters now because you're standing in front of the factory gates and your mother is gripping your hand so tightly it hurts. She's told you 3 times already not to complain, not to cry, not to give them any reason to send you home without the job. She's told you that girls who work hard can make good money. She hasn't told you what happened to the girl from 2 streets over who used to work here, the one who died last year at 16. You'll find out about that soon enough. The gates open. Workers flood through. Your mother pulls you forward. By the time you step inside, it's going to be much worse. The factory is a four-story brick building with hundreds of windows. The factory is a four-story brick building with hundreds of windows. Some of them are broken. The noise is constant even before you step inside. A low rumble punctuated by sharp cracks and the hiss of steam. The smell hits you from 20 feet away. Sulfur. Phosphorus. Something chemical and sharp that burns the inside of your nose. Workers are flooding through the gates. Hundreds of them. Women and girls mostly. Some as young as 8 or 9. Some old women in their 30s, which is ancient for factory work. A man stands at the entrance with a pocket watch. He's checking every face. Anyone who arrives after the bell at 5:45 gets turned away or fined. Your mother pushes you forward. The overlooker is a broad-shouldered man in a waistcoat. He barely glances at you. Your mother does all the talking. She tells him you're 12, strong, a hard worker. She mentions your older sister who worked in a textile mill before she got married. She's trying to prove your family has factory experience. The overlooker asks if you can stand for long hours. Your mother says yes. He asks if you're afraid of chemicals. Your mother says no. He tells her the wages are 4 shillings a week, maybe 5 if you're fast. Your mother's face lights up. 4 shillings. She agrees immediately. The overlooker tells her you'll be working with the phosphorus. He says this casually, like it means nothing. Your mother nods. She either doesn't know what that means or she's pretending not to. Around you, the other workers are filing past. You notice things. Small things. A woman with a bandage wrapped around her jaw. Another woman limping badly. A girl maybe 14 with several teeth missing. Her gums are black. Another girl is coughing. A wet, rattling cough that sounds like something is tearing inside her chest. They all move slowly, like their bodies hurt. Like every step costs them something. You don't understand what you're seeing yet. You will. The overlooker doesn't give you any kind of safety briefing. There isn't one. He just points at an older girl and tells you to follow her. Do what she does. Keep up with the pace. Don't damage the matches because damaged product comes out of your wages. Don't talk. Don't sit down. Don't stop working until the lunch bell rings. If you need to use the privy, you raise your hand and wait for permission. You get 2 minutes. The production quota is 3 gross of matchboxes per day. That's 432 boxes. If you fall short, you'll be fined. If you fall short 3 days in a row, you'll be dismissed. He says all of this in under a minute. Then he walks away. Your mother squeezes your shoulder. She tells you to be good, to work hard, to make the family proud. Then she's gone, and you're standing in a crowd of workers waiting for the doors to open. The girl next to you is maybe 10. She has a bruise on her cheek. You want to ask her what happened, but before you can, the doors swing open and everyone surges forward. The heat hits you first. It's January outside, but inside the factory, it's sweltering. Then the smell. Phosphorus and sulfur so strong it feels like it's coating your throat. Then the noise. Machinery clanking. Women shouting over the din. The hiss of steam pipes. The scrape of wood on wood. The main factory floor is enormous. Long wooden tables stretching the entire length of the building. Hundreds of workers standing shoulder to shoulder. Vats of white paste. Wooden frames filled with matches. Drying racks stacked floor to ceiling. The overlooker leads you to a table near the middle. He points to your spot, tells you to start when the bell rings. Then he walks away, and you're left standing there staring at the vat of white phosphorus in front of you. The girl next to you leans over. She's maybe 15. She tells you one thing. Don't get it in your mouth. The bell rings. You begin. The work itself is brutally simple. The work itself is brutally simple. You grab a bundle of wooden sticks, maybe 50 at a time. You dip the ends into the white phosphorus paste. You place them carefully into a wooden frame to dry. You repeat. Grab bundle, dip, place. Grab bundle, dip, place. Over and over and over. The girl next to you is doing the same thing. So is the woman on your other side. So are the 100 other workers at the tables around you. The sound is the scrape of wood and the splash of paste and the shuffle of feet and nothing else because talking is forbidden. The phosphorus paste is thick and yellowish white. It stinks. A chemical smell so sharp it makes your eyes water immediately. Within 5 minutes, your throat burns. Within 10 minutes, you're coughing. The girl next to you doesn't even look up. She just keeps working. Grab bundle, dip, place, grab bundle, dip, place. You try to match her pace. Your hands are already sticky with phosphorus. It gets under your fingernails, on your wrists. You try to wipe it off on your dress, but that just spreads it around. The girl notices and shakes her head. She mouths one word. Don't. After the first hour, your eyes are streaming. The fumes are everywhere. There's no ventilation. The windows are sealed shut because phosphorus degrades in fresh air. The factory owners need the air hot and still to keep the chemical stable. That means you're breathing it. Every breath tastes like sulfur and something else, something metallic and wrong. Your lungs ache. Your throat feels raw. You keep coughing, but you can't stop working because the overlooker is pacing the aisles watching everyone. He's got a strap hanging from his belt. You've already seen him use it once on a girl who stopped to rub her eyes. The repetition is mind-numbing. Grab bundle, dip, place. Your hands move automatically. Your arms start to ache. Your shoulders. Your back from leaning over the table. You're standing in one spot. Not allowed to shift. Not allowed to lean against anything. Just standing. After 2 hours, your feet hurt. After 3 hours, they're throbbing. The girl next to you has been doing this for 2 years. You can see it in the way her hands move. Mechanical, efficient, no wasted motion. She never looks at what she's doing. Her eyes are glazed over. She's not even thinking anymore, just moving. The heat is oppressive. Sweat runs down your back, your face. It mixes with the phosphorus residue on your hands and stings when you accidentally touch your cheek. The woman across from you has white streaks on her face where she's wiped her forehead. Everyone is covered in it. White powder on their clothes, in their hair, under their nails. The smell is in everything. You know you'll smell like this when you go home tonight. You know you'll taste it when you try to eat. By hour 4, your hands are trembling. The repetitive motion is making your wrists ache. Your fingers are stiff. But you can't slow down because the overlooker is watching and the quota is 3 gross per day and you have no idea if you're keeping up. The girl next to you hasn't slowed at all. She just keeps working. Grab bundle, dip, place. Grab bundle, dip, place, like a machine herself. At noon, a bell rings. The overlooker shouts that you have 40 minutes. The woman next to you sits down right there on the floor. She pulls out a piece of bread wrapped in cloth. It's already covered in white phosphorus dust from her hands. She eats it anyway. You have bread too. Your mother wrapped it this morning. When you unwrap it, you see the white powder covering it. You're so hungry you eat it. It tastes like chemicals. Around you, other workers are doing the same thing, eating their lunch at their workstations, breathing phosphorus, tasting it in their food. No one complains. This is normal. After 40 minutes, the bell rings again. Everyone stands. You've been working for 6 hours. You have 8 more to go. The afternoon shift is when the real exhaustion sets in. The afternoon shift is when the real exhaustion sets in. Your body already ached before lunch. Now every muscle screams. Your hands won't stop shaking. The repetitive motion has worn grooves into your consciousness. Grab bundle. Dip. Place. You're doing it in your sleep tonight. You'll be doing it in your dreams for years. The overlooker doesn't let up. He paces the aisles like a prison guard, watching for any sign of idleness. A girl 3 tables over pauses to wipe sweat from her face. He's on her in seconds. The strap comes off his belt, one sharp crack across her shoulders. She doesn't cry. She just goes back to work. You learn quickly. Never stop moving, never look up, never give them a reason. Around hour 8, you see a girl fall asleep standing up. Her eyes close. Her hands keep moving but slower. The overlooker notices. He grabs her by the arm and drags her to a corner where there's a bucket of cold water. He dunks her head in, holds it under, pulls her up gasping, sends her back to work. The water runs down her dress. She's shivering. She's crying. She goes back to her station and keeps working because what else can she do? There's no sympathy here. The other workers barely glance over. They've seen it before. They'll see it again. The wages are based on output. You get paid for the number of matchboxes you complete, but here's the trap. Any damaged matches get deducted from your total. If your hands shake and you dip the sticks unevenly, that's a damaged match. If you place them in the frame crooked, that's a damaged match. If the phosphorus coating is too thick or too thin, that's a damaged match. At the end of the week, when you collect your wages, you might find that half your work doesn't count. 4 shillings becomes 2. 2 shillings isn't enough to feed a family, so you work faster, which means you make more mistakes, which means more deductions. It's a system designed to extract maximum labor for minimum pay. Other sections of the factory are even worse. Through a doorway, you can see the packing room where finished matchboxes are loaded into crates. There are machines in there, cutting machines, Pressing machines. None of them have guards. A woman feeding sticks into a cutting blade has to get her hands within inches of the sharp edge. You watch as she works. Fast. Mechanical. One slip, and she loses fingers. As you watch another woman at a different machine pulls her hand back. Blood drips from her thumb. The overlooker shouts at her to wrap it and get back to work. No doctor. No time off. Just a rag around the wound and back to the machine. In cotton mills across the city, it's the same story. Children as young as 5 work as scavengers crawling under spinning mules while the machines are still running. They're supposed to collect loose cotton fibers that fall to the floor. It's valuable. Can't be wasted. The children have to lie flat and reach under moving machinery to sweep it up. Sometimes they don't move fast enough. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes they're just unlucky. The machines crush them. In 1865, a boy named John Fulton was killed instantly under a spinning mule at a mill in Cheshire. He was 11 years old. The factory kept running. They hired another child to replace him the next day. The workers in those mills breathe cotton dust 12 hours a day. It fills their lungs, causes a disease they call brown lung. You cough constantly. You cough up blood. Your lungs stop working properly. Most cotton mill workers die in their 30s. Here in the match factory, you're breathing phosphorus instead. Different poison. Same result. By hour 10, you can barely stand. Your legs are shaking. Your vision blurs. You've been on your feet for 14 hours with only 40 minutes sitting down. Your feet have swollen so much your shoes feel like they're cutting into your flesh. Every step sends pain shooting up your calves. The woman next to you has started limping. She's been doing this for 5 years. She tells you during a brief moment when the overlooker isn't nearby that her feet never stop hurting anymore. Even when she's home, even when she's sleeping, the pain is just part of her now. Around you, other workers are in the same state. A girl near the window is crying silently while she works. An older woman has gone pale and keeps pressing her hand to her chest. No one stops. No one helps. Everyone just keeps working because the overlooker is watching, and stopping means punishment, and punishment means lost wages, and lost wages means starvation. When the final whistle blows at 8 o'clock at night, you can barely walk. Your hands are covered in phosphorus. Your lungs burn. Your entire body aches. Tomorrow you'll be back here at 6 in the morning to do it all over again. It's been a week now, and you've started coughing. It's been a week now, and you've started coughing. Not just the coughing from the fumes during work. This is different. This is a cough that wakes you up at night. A cough that won't stop. You cough until your ribs ache, until your throat is raw, until you taste something metallic in your mouth. The phosphorus is in your lungs. You're breathing it out, but you're also breathing it in deeper with every shift. Your hands have developed calluses where you grip the match bundles, but they've also developed something else, chemical burns. Small red patches where the phosphorus paste has eaten into your skin. They sting constantly. When you wash your hands in cold water at the pump, the burns feel like fire. The exhaustion is permanent now. You're sleeping maybe 6 hours a night. You get home at 8:30. You eat whatever your mother has managed to put together. Usually bread, sometimes potato. You fall into bed by 9. You're unconscious before your head hits the pillow. Then the knocker-upper wakes you at 4:30, and you do it again. Your body never fully recovers. You're always tired, always aching. You've lost weight. Your dress hangs looser. Your face is thinner. Your mother notices but doesn't say anything. She just takes your wages at the end of the week. 4 shillings. Exactly what they promised. It buys enough bread to keep the family fed for another week. Barely. It's been a month now, and your teeth hurt. A dull, constant ache in your jaw that won't go away. You mention it to the girl who works next to you. She looks at you with something like pity. She tells you that's how it starts. She's been here 2 years. 3 of her teeth have fallen out. She shows you the gaps. Her gums are an unhealthy gray color. She tells you not to worry about it yet. It gets worse later. You don't ask what she means by worse. Last week you saw a girl collapse, just dropped like someone cut her strings. The overlooker had her dragged out and left in the courtyard until she could stand again. When she came back and her face was gray. She worked the rest of her shift anyway. Yesterday, a woman 3 tables over started screaming. She'd caught her hand in one of the drying racks. 3 fingers crushed. The overlooker sent her home. She won't get paid for the time off. She'll probably lose the job. Someone else will take her spot tomorrow. There's always someone desperate enough to take your place. Your hands shake now even when you're not working. The repetitive motion has done something to your wrists. They ache constantly. You can barely hold a cup without trembling. At night, you lie in bed and your hands twitch. Grab bundle. Dip. Place. Your body keeps doing the motion even in your sleep. Your younger sister has started complaining that you keep hitting her during the night. You don't remember doing it. 3 months in, and the cough is worse. You're spitting up mucus now. Sometimes it's tinged with white. Phosphorus. It's in everything. Your lungs, your blood, your bones. The woman who works across from you has been here a year. She coughs so hard sometimes she has to stop working. The overlooker yells at her. She keeps coughing anyway. She can't help it. You've noticed something else, too. Your skin has a yellowish tint. So does hers. So does everyone who works in the phosphorus room. It's like the chemical is staining you from the inside out. Your hair's falling out. Not all of it, just patches. You find strands on your pillow in the morning. More in your hands when you run your fingers through it. The girl next to you is nearly bald under her cap. She's 17. She's been working here since she was 10. She tells you she probably won't make it to 20. She says this like she's talking about the weather. Like it's just a fact. Like there's nothing to be done about it. You still can't afford to quit. Your family needs your wages, so you keep going back. After 6 months, you notice something that makes your blood run cold. After 6 months, you notice something that makes your blood run cold. At night, when you lie in bed in the dark, you see a faint glow coming from your mouth. A greenish-white light. You put your hand to your jaw and feel the swelling. The toothache that started months ago hasn't stopped. It's gotten worse, much worse. Several of your teeth are loose now. When you touch them, they move. The pain is constant and throbbing, and it radiates through your entire skull. This is jaw. Phosphorus necrosis. Your jawbone is rotting from the inside out. The white phosphorus you've been handling every day for 6 months has entered your body through cuts in your skin and through the air you breathe. It's settled in your bones. And now those bones are dying. The technical term is necrosis. The phosphorus kills the bone tissue. It literally turns your jaw into a crumbling mass of dead matter. The bone becomes porous, fragile. It starts to break apart. Sometimes pieces of dead bone work their way out through your gums. Sometimes they just rot inside your face. The infection spreads. The smell is unbearable. A sweet, rotten stench that comes from your own mouth. The phosphorus makes the dead bone glow in the dark. That's what you're seeing. Your skeleton lighting up like a candle. There's no cure. The only treatment is amputation. A surgeon has to cut away the infected section of your jaw. Most factory workers can't afford a surgeon. You certainly can't. So you just suffer. The pain gets worse every day. Your face swells. Your gums turn black and pull away from your teeth. Pus oozes constantly. You can taste the infection. More teeth fall out, not pulled. They just drop out of your head because there's no bone left to hold them. Your face starts to change shape as the jawbone collapses inward. You're not alone. Look around the factory floor. That woman with the bandage wrapped around half her face. Jaw. That girl who keeps her hand pressed to her cheek. Jaw. The woman who works in the back room away from public view because her face is so disfigured that customers complained. Advanced jaw. Half her lower jaw is gone. You can see the bone through the rotting flesh. She's been working here for 8 years. She's 23 years old. She'll be dead within the year. The factory owners know about this. Everyone knows about this. Phosphorus necrosis has been documented in medical journals since the 1820s. Doctors have been writing about match workers and their rotting jaws for decades. There's even a safer alternative. Red phosphorus. It doesn't cause necrosis. But it costs more. So the factories keep using white phosphorus because it's cheaper and workers are expendable. When you die, they'll hire another desperate girl to take your place. You keep working anyway. What choice do you have? Your family needs your wages. 4 shillings a week. That's what your life is worth. That's what your jaw is worth. You stand at your station with your face swelling and your teeth falling out, and you grab bundles and dip them in phosphorus and place them in frames. The pain is excruciating. You can barely eat. You're starving because chewing is agony. But you keep working because stopping means losing your job, and losing your job means your family starves, so you choose your own death to prevent theirs. This is the bargain. This is Victorian industry. This is progress. Your story isn't unique. Your story isn't unique. It's not even unusual. Across Britain, thousands of workers are suffering through identical horrors in different industries. The match factories are killing their workers with phosphorus. The cotton mills are killing theirs with dust and machinery. The coal mines are killing children in the dark underground. This is how Victorian Britain operates. This is the system. In the cotton mills of Manchester and Lancashire, the shifts run 12 to 14 hours just like yours. Children start working at 5 or 6 years old. The youngest ones get jobs as scavengers. That's the technical term. Scavenger. Their job is to crawl under the spinning mules while the machines are still running and collect the loose cotton fibers that fall to the floor. Cotton is expensive. Can't let it go to waste. So children lie flat on their stomachs and reach under machinery that could crush them in an instant. They're small enough to fit in the gaps. That's why factory owners want them. The machines don't stop. The children have to time their movements to avoid the carriages that slide back and forth. Sometimes they're fast enough, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're exhausted after 10 hours of work, and their reflexes are slow. In 1865, an 11-year-old boy named John Fulton was working as a scavenger at Quarry Bank Mill in Cheshire. He was caught under the spinning mule as it moved back, killed instantly. The factory recorded his death in their books. Then they hired another child to replace him. The machines kept running. The adult workers in those cotton mills breathe fiber dust all day. Every breath pulls tiny particles of cotton into their lungs. It accumulates over months and years, builds up in the lung tissue, causes inflammation, scarring, a disease called byssinosis, brown lung. Your chest tightens. Breathing becomes difficult. You develop a chronic cough. You start coughing up blood. Your lungs stop working properly. Average life expectancy for cotton mill workers is the mid-30s. Some don't make it that long. The machinery in textile factories is completely unguarded. Spinning jennies, power looms, carding engines, all of them have exposed moving parts, gears, belts, spinning wheels. Workers have to feed material into these machines by hand. Get your fingers too close and they're gone, crushed between rollers or caught in gears. Women with long hair have it worse. If your hair comes loose from under your cap and gets caught in a spinning machine, it rips your scalp off. They call it scalping. It happens regularly. There are documented cases throughout the 1850s and 1860s. Women left alive but disfigured. No compensation, no medical care beyond basic bandaging, just sent home and replaced. The wages for all this suffering are obscenely low. A cotton mill worker might make 6 to 8 shillings a week if they're an adult man. Women make less. Children make even less. Sometimes as little as 2 shillings. Meanwhile, a loaf of bread costs 4 pence. A pound of butter costs a shilling. Rent for a back-to-back slum room costs 2 shillings a week. Do the math. A family can't survive on one income. That's why children work. That's why whole families are forced into the factories. Even with everyone working, they're barely surviving. The life expectancy statistics are damning. Factory workers in industrial cities die young. In Manchester in the 1840s, average life expectancy for working-class people is around 19 years. 19. That number is dragged down by high infant mortality, but even if you survive childhood, you're not making it to old age. Tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid, respiratory diseases, industrial accidents, malnutrition, everything is working against you. In the cotton mill districts of Lancashire, life expectancy for workers averages around 42 years. In the worst slums, it drops to the mid-30s. The factory owners know all of this. They keep detailed records. They know their workers are dying. They know about the accidents. They know about the diseases. They choose to do nothing because doing something would cost money. Installing safety guards on machinery costs money. Improving ventilation costs money. Switching to safer chemicals costs money. Paying living wages costs money. It's more profitable to let workers die and hire replacements. There's always a supply of desperate poor people who need jobs. Britain is becoming the wealthiest nation on earth. The Industrial Revolution is generating unprecedented profits. British cotton dominates global markets. British coal powers the world. British manufactured goods are exported everywhere. The empire is expanding. The middle and upper classes are getting richer, and it's all built on this. On workers dying in their 30s with rotting jaws and scarred lungs and crushed limbs. On children crawling under death machines for 2 shillings a week. The match that lights the gas lamp. The cotton shirt on someone's back. The coal that heats a comfortable home. All of it produced by people whose lives are considered worthless. All of it soaked in blood. Our worker doesn't live to see the reforms. Our worker doesn't live to see the reforms. She dies at 19 with half her jaw rotted away, having spent 7 years breathing phosphorus 6 days a week for wages that never rose above 5 shillings. Her younger sister takes her place at the factory the day after the funeral because the family still needs the income. This was normal. This was legal. This was how Victorian Britain worked. The match factories, the cotton mills, the coal mines, the textile factories. Thousands of workers dying young and being replaced by the next generation of desperate poor. It would take decades of worker resistance strikes and public scandal before meaningful protections arrived. White phosphorus wouldn't be banned until 1910, 55 years after our story. So the next time you read about Victorian progress and industrial advancement, remember the real cost. Remember the girl who couldn't afford to quit, even as her bones turned to powder. If you want to see more history brought to life, please subscribe and hit the notification bell.